Hi, my name is Jessica from Mocktail Fossander, and today I'm going to answer the common social media question, how often should I post? Using the magic of sticky notes. So that question, how often should I post? It's a tricky one, because there's so many variables. Now, it's easy to find an article online that gives you exact number, how many tweets or Facebook posts you should do. But that's not always the best idea, because there are different factors that you need to consider. So today, instead of giving you solid numbers, we're going to give you the principles that you should consider yourself to decide what is best for my brand. There are, however, some key things to keep in mind for how often should I post in general. And one of those is to be regular. You want to post on a regular basis and keep those feeds alive. Another one is to be consistent. You don't want to have 1 week where you post frequently and then 2 weeks where you're completely absent from social media. That's not a good idea. It's better to split up the posts. We'll go into that a bit more later for when you shouldn't do that on a few occasions. But splitting up the posts to divide the content is a good idea because it keeps people from being overwhelmed, but also keeps you top of mind. A concept I've heard before that I liked is never go dark. And that means you don't want there to be a period of time where you are completely absent from social media, because then you're missing the conversation that's happening about your brand, and you're also going to miss any news or input that you could be taking in. So we're going to talk about 3 different factors that you should keep in mind when asking yourself, how often should I post? Now the first of these, what media are you using? If it's Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, so on, it's all going to be different. Now, you never want to be annoying your followers. You don't want to be posting so frequently that they get tired of seeing your updates. That's a bad idea, and it will lead to people increasingly getting angrier and then unfollowing you altogether. Now, a good rule that I've heard to keep in mind is the real estate rule. Ask yourself, how much real estate am I taking up on their screen? How large is my post compared to what else they see on that screen? Now, to illustrate this, let's see. Instagram versus Pinterest. Which one do you have more forgiveness in posting more often? Well, this is what my Instagram screen looks like. I drew a little picture for you. And this is what my Pinterest page looks like on my computer. See, on Instagram, this blue square is any given post, and it takes up all of my screen. It has a very large amount of real estate for my attention that is taking. So if I have to go through 3 posts of your brand in a row that I don't find interesting, I'm going to get frustrated, and there's a good chance that I'm going to unfollow you. Now, on Pinterest, you can see there's 14 of these little squares on my screen. So if I have to go through 1 or even 3 that I'm not interested in, I'm not going to care as much because it's less effort on my part to get around to them. Now, something that you always have to keep in mind is mobile. Your followers are going to be using their mobile devices, and you should never underestimate this. So now my Pinterest screen turns to this. And all of a sudden, my posts are taking a lot more real estate. Now it's still less than Instagram. Instagram is just 1 post. I'm seeing about 4 in my Pinterest on mobile. That's a big difference from the 14. So you don't want to, if you're a computer user, just think, oh, look at all of the posts that are on my screen. I can post 7 in a row and no one will care. Because those followers on their mobile devices are going to care and they're going to be frustrated. Now, a second thing to keep in mind is the industry that you are a part of. You have to ask yourself, what value am I bringing to my followers? Why do they follow me? What are they looking for? And this will play a large role in how frequently you post. For example, let's pretend we have a news station and a toothbrush company. And they both have Twitter accounts. So we're going to consider this only for Twitter. Now, the news station, what do people want from the news station? Well, they want updates. They want them right now. They want to know what is going on. So a news station can post frequently. They can post whenever there's news. If there's a fire and they post a tweet, and then there's an explosion, they're not going to say, well, we just posted something 10 minutes ago, we should wait. No, that's ridiculous. But the toothbrush company is going to have a different policy. What do people want? Maybe they're interested in dental hygiene. Maybe they're interested in sales. It's not going to be a up to the minute 10 posts per hour idea if something's going on. This just isn't a good idea. You're going to overwhelm them because that's not what they're looking to you for. Now, a good thing to keep in mind, unless you're a news station, is to try to put some time in between your tweets. Don't sit down and write 3 right away and have them be right on top of each other. And that works back with the real estate rule, because all of a sudden you're taking up more real estate. But try to separate them at least 10 minutes, preferably more. Now, the third thing to keep in mind is the message that you are putting out there for that individual post. Now, a good thing to keep in mind is that you always want to have quality over quantity. Yes, it's good to post often. Yes, it's good to post regularly, but you want to make sure that it's a quality post. That it's something that people care about, that it's something that they are going to be interested in. Now, there are some different circumstances where it's okay to post more frequently than you normally would. One of these is an event. Especially on Twitter, event tweeting is something that a lot of people appreciate. So if your event especially has a hashtag, you use that hashtag, and you can post more frequently than you would on a normal day. Another one of those is news. If it's something that affects your industry or affects your community that isn't something you'd hear every day, then by all means you can post more frequently when that happens, because people are going to be interested. So these are 3 large things to keep in mind, but there's many others that would take longer to go over, and maybe we'll cover them in a different video. But hopefully this helped answer your question, how often should I post?